Hi, I'm Jazz Obrecht, and welcome to my Talking Guitar podcast of a very rare interview with British guitarist and songwriter Robbie Blunt. This conversation was taped on June 22nd, 1985, just after Robbie had finished recording his third Honeydrippers album with Robert Plant, Shaken and Stirred. Their previous album together, The Principle of the Moments, had yielded the hits In the Mood and Big Log, which Robbie co-wrote. As anyone who's heard these records can attest, Robbie has an exquisite guitar style. A quick bit of background. Before teaming with the former Led Zeppelin frontman around 1982, Blunt spent years as a journeyman guitarist in the British Midlands, playing with bands such as Butch Clutch and The Accelerators, Bronco, Silverhead, Broken Glass, and Chicken Shack. On the day Robbie and I spoke, the Honeydrippers were embarking on an American tour. I hope you enjoy our interview.
Are you enjoying your gig with Robert Plant?
I am right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we had a great show in Dallas.
What's the appeal of playing with Plant?
The appeal? I suppose the challenge, really. I mean, I used to get paranoid about people comparing me with Jimmy Page, I suppose. But there again, I didn't join Led Zeppelin. I had to play with Robert Plant. But there again, it's like it's almost ever present sometimes, you know? Yet it's a different kind of music.
Yeah, and you have a different kind of approach.
Yeah, I do too.
You sound like you play all the time. Is that true?
Sound like I play all the time.
Yeah, just the range of the playing you do just sounds like somebody who's got a guitar around.
Well, in fact, I don't play all the time.
Really?
No, I have gone through stages where I've played all the time, like for 6, 7 hours a day. I know I've encompassed a lot of different styles, but I've had to do that to keep in work, you know?
Yeah. Have you gone through a time of editing your playing?
Editing? Make yourself more specific.
Yeah, there's times when it sounds like you hold back, where other people...
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, I was of that school. It's what you don't play that makes the special, almost like being a bass player, you know? Like a Tamla Motown bass player. What you don't play makes you what you are. I mean, yeah. And now probably I'm going the other way now. I'm just blowing out a bit. But on record, yeah, I usually show a certain amount of restraint, if you like. Just pull it back a little notch or two. For the record's sake, whatever the record takes, you know, that's my job.
What do you prefer?
Solo for solo's sake.
Yeah.
Whatever's required.
Do you prefer playing live to playing in the studio?
I do prefer playing live.
I didn't get a chance to see you guys because I didn't know we'd be doing the story till you'd left San Francisco.
Yeah.
So I wonder if you could tell me the difference between your live playing and your studio playing.
Well, studio, I mean, you really have to wind up to do live shows. We haven't been out here for 2 years, and I'm just finding now that I'm starting to find things that I used to do, you know, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I was starting to do 2 years ago. It's funny. I suppose it's, if you rehearse for 2 or 3 weeks and play 6 or 8 hours a day, you do start doing things that normally you don't do. You get into an album situation. And I don't know, maybe that's where that restraint comes from. I don't know.
You've got a lot of tones on the record. Are you an instrument collector or equipment collector?
No, I'm not a collector. Anything that I buy, I utilise, you know. I will not just buy guitars and stick them in a cupboard. I can't stand all that, you know.
What's your...
We're going to the fucking antique business. I can't stand that.
Yeah.
favourite is I've got a 56 Strat with a 54 neck on.
Oh my.
And that's where I've tried a lot of Strats. In Dallas, there's this place called Charlie's. I'm sure you've heard of this before. He supplies quite a few people. Well, when the man was alive, last time I was out here, God bless him.
Charlie Wirtz, huh?
Yeah, right. He brought me 3 Strats out, 54, 56, and a 59. And not one of them sounded like the one I got. I mean, they all sounded great, but they didn't sound like the one I got.
Is that the one you've used on most of the records?
Yeah. Well, they spent the first 2 albums, definitely. And actually, I had Robert say to me on the 3rd album, I don't want you to sound like that anymore.
Why?
Because he wanted to move it somewhere else. I never even used it on the last album. I can't believe that, but I did.
What song epitomizes its straight tone?
Big Log, I suppose.
Yeah, is that just the straight guitar into the amp?
Well, really, yeah, through Little Princeton.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I got a really old Princeton, which was one of the Who's, actually. I think somebody stole it for me. Don't print that. Although, no, Townsend's all right. He'll let me off that. Somebody stole it off for me. It's an old, from the original Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah.
It's a really old one, pre-TBS.
We've had people write in and ask what the signal chain was for your setup on the Big Log. Were there any effects devices on there?
Were there any what?
Effects on that song? Guitar effects?
Well, you'd have to speak to my man, Benji Lefebvre, who is like co-produces a lot of this stuff. No, really, there was not a lot of effect, maybe a little bit of AMS or something, you know. That is that guitar. It's the same as if you put it through a boogie, it makes a boogie. If you take that other track like I've Never Been Gone, which was off the first album, was the first thing that Robert and I wrote and realised that we could, you know, we did in fact have an affinity. We could. I mean, that was just cranked through a boogie, really, with just an ambient sound, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's the same, it's just got something. It's got a beautiful tone.
What pickup configuration would you use for a tone like on the Big Log?
Basically, the treble pickup with the middle one, you know, the half tone.
Right.
I don't have a 5-position switch on it, but I have the facility just to, you know, get the half tone. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So the
between the middle and the treble pickup, and that's it. And probably wind it. It's the volume which seems to be more critical than anything. You can wind it around to 8. Just notch it a little bit, and you'll just get it starting to break, you know?
Yeah. Is that guitar stock as far as pickups and stuff?
Yeah, well, as far as I know, yeah.
How long have you had it?
I used to be in a band called Silverhead, and I was out here, I think, I've had it a long time, maybe since 74.
Did you use that on 16 and Savaged?
No, I didn't, no. I bought this guitar. In fact, what happened is, I used to play a lot of slide guitar with the Silverhead.
Uh-huh.
And I had this guitar smashed up on an airline flight, right? So I had this guy who used to have a shop in New Jersey. God, I can't remember his name. He'd never forgive me for this, because he was a great guy. Anyway, he flew me one of those Dan Armstrong plexiglass things down there, you know? And I set that up for slides with real heavy strings at high action. And after 2 or 3 weeks, I've been using it, all the neck bowed, you know?
Oh, no.
It looked like I looked like Robin Hood. Ready to fire. Anyway, when I came back, he actually came and met me at the airport, and I said, this ain't happening, you know? I mean, look at it. And he said, doesn't matter. He said, I'll take it back. Anyway, I got this old Strat in the shop. Why don't you just take that? And that was that guitar.
Wow.
And it had, it needed refretting. It had a metal scratch plate on too.
What color is it?
Well, it's sort of stained black, but as it's worn, it seems to me as it was originally a natural finish. It's got a maple neck, which is 1954, which is so warm. It just feels, it's beautiful, you know. I've even had another guitar sort of whose neck has been. I've had caliper measurements taken off the old black, the black guitar's neck, and I've had one sort of built the same. You know, the neck is super. As is the tone, as is everything. If I ever lost it, I'd probably die. You know.
Do you use that on stage now?
Oh yeah, as I'm saying, I don't buy fucking antiques. You know.
Now, when you're on stage, where does your signal go from the? Do you use a wireless or a cord?
Well, I've been forced, let me tell you, to use a wireless.
Do you know what kind?
On certain songs only.
Pardon me?
I've been forced by Robert to use a wireless. I don't really like them, you know, because I find it compresses and limits. But on certain things, it can be advantageous. Like on the Navy system, I've been using, also just tweaking the bass boost a little bit, you know. And this is only on one guitar though. I've got a red Stratocaster. Well, it says a Stratocaster, but it has Schecter gear on and a Carla Wang bar, you know. And for the songs I use, for the songs that is used on, which is most of the new stuff, I would use the wireless system. But with the old black guitar, for things like Big Log and all those things with that tone, I will not use the wireless. You know, I won't compromise its sound.
Where from the wireless, where does your signal go?
Well, what I do, if it doesn't matter whether I've got a box which switches from synth to lead to wireless, it's all routed through a stereo chorus, a Roland stereo chorus, and two Mesa Boogies Mark IIBs, and that's it.
That's your whole setup?
That's it, yeah.
How do you have the controls on the amps?
I have them on a pretty clean set, you see. I mean, you can use, there's also a boost on the Roland chorus, right?
Right.
Which is high and low. It's usually on low. It's wound pretty well full round. And with a very slow chorus on. And the amp configurations, the masters, let me get it right, that's the one on the left, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really bad. I just leave instructions. I set up the same every day. It's a clean setting anyway. I never usually use the lead channel, you know, where you got the pull switch. I never ever use that. So it's usually on a pretty clean setting up until when you open the volume full out on your guitar and it just gives you that edge.
Yeah.
So it won't even sing, you know, but it just gives me that tone that I want and that what I like.
When you get it, gives it more of an edge, would that be like the tone you use in doo-doo?
Well, yeah, that's the red one, you see. We're talking about a different beast.
Oh, I see.
The red guitar's got Schecter stuff on, you know.
Schecter pickups?
Yeah, like a Super Rock on the back and a couple of double coils, you know.
Is that a Fender Stratocaster?
Well, it says Fender, as I say, but everything else on it has got nothing to do with Schecter.
Now, how long have you had that one? You said it was Jazz's?
When we did, when Phil Collins came out with us on the first tour we did, the American tour, he has this guy who works for him called Jeff Banks, who's not a guitar roadie, but he's a guitar fan, and he was assigned to me, you know, to look after me.
Uh-huh.
And I bought this, and it was a Strat. It's really heavy, it's weird, it's a strange beast. And I just said, make it silly.
Make it silly?
The Bison, we called him. The Bison came back and delivered this thing to me, you know. And I was knocked out. I was gassed out. Because it was different, you know. With me using all those clean sounds, it was hooligan. That's different again. So it was great. I never played anything else for a while. In fact, I forgot my old faithful.
So those are the two main guitars you've used with Robert?
Yeah, I got other stuff though, you know. I've got a nice Telecaster with a B-bender on, you know, a Graham Parsons B-bender.
Are there any tunes that someone could hear that?
Well, that's like Horizontal Departure, where I did in fact use that on the record. I had it done after that. In fact, Bison again sent it to New York for me and took care of all that. God bless him.
You mean you didn't use the B-bender on the record, but you do on
No.
you do on stage?
In fact, somebody, I used somebody where we live tried to invent or copy the same thing, which it wasn't that successful because it didn't zero as well, you know? You pull it up to go up a tone.
Oh.
You go back down a quarter tone. No, it wasn't that clever.
That's pretty funny.
But it worked I did in fact use that particular thing, that beast I'm talking about on record.
The B-bender?
Yeah, but this is somebody who copied it, you know.
So you never used the bender on any of the Robert Plant albums though?
Well, I have, in fact. I'm trying to think what track I used it on. The Telecaster. Anyway, whatever it was probably a clean sound mixed in there somewhere. But it's got a beautiful tone. It's a 64, and it's like that yellowed out colour. It's fading, you know.
So do you have a guitar synthesizer now?
Unfortunately, yes.
Is that the Roland?
Yeah.
The new one with the
700, yeah.
the one with the extra horn at the top?
That's right, yeah.
Where did you use that on the record?
Christ. In fact, in quite a lot of places. I mean, my attitude towards it, because Roland ain't going to like me for this, but there are glitching problems, you know. There's also a slight delay.
I've never met anyone who didn't say that. Never. Everyone who's ever used one's told me the exact same thing.
Yeah, well, it's true, you know. It's no good anybody trying to fucking tell you anything different. But I mean, in a studio situation where you're really A-ing and B-ing closely, like Benji, God bless him, sat with me through about 10 hours. You know that track 6s and 7s?
Yeah.
Well, in fact, there's that guitar synth all over that thing. The solo, in fact, is the GR700 midged into a DX9. Because you can hear the chromatic effect when you run down the fret.
Right. That's.
I started to think, what's the point of me having this thing when our keyboard player, you know, has got everything you'd ever want, you know?
Was it Robert's idea for you to get that?
Yes.
How did I guess?
No, I mean, I checked it out. In fact, Benji went and picked it up for me and went to my house secretly and then came down where I was having a drink and said, come home, and he'd set it all up. I mean, they're like a novelty, I think, in a way.
Now 6s and 7s, that tune to me is like the epitome of understatement. That's like a perfect groove to just cut loose and solo all over the place. Didn't you have the urge?
Speak up a bit, please, Jan.
Pardon me?
Can you speak up a little bit to me?
Yeah. The track 6s and 7s, I thought would have been the perfect track for a guitar player to cut loose and blast.
Exactly.
Pardon?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why Paul played the guitar on there, and I just didn't want to do that, you know? Yeah, it was. For obvious reasons, I did something totally different and spent a lot of time just trying to figure out a solo which sounds like a theme, you know? Like that do-do-do-do. It's like a TV theme. Benji stuck with me through that.
You said Paul played guitar on that song?
Pardon?
You said Paul?
He plays the guitar, I play guitar synth.
Oh, I see.
Des plays all the bass on keyboard. So it's a switch around for all of us. But it's a great groove, you know, it is a great groove.
Did
Mr. Hayward.
Did Paul play any of the solos on the album?
Pardon?
Did Paul do any guitar solos on the album?
No. It's like more of I put him in like a sort of a Keith Richards mode or something. I don't know, you know. Just chopping and chunking.
So there's no keyboards on 6s and 7s?
There are keyboards, bass keyboards, but the solo and the other things, you'll hear, if you're a guitar player, you'll know, because you can't do these things on a synth. I'm plucking things now in between the vocals, in between the holes, the highs, you know, and all that, that's all synth, that's guitar synth. But it's plucked, if you know what I mean, almost like you pluck a harp using fingers.
your part in Hip to Who, around the lyrics that go cheat, cheat, you know? What do you have going on there? That sounds great.
Yeah, that's weird again, isn't it?
Yeah.
I found this really weird chord, actually. I've got, there's a real clean guitar sound, too, on there. Some strange stuff on there. I can't remember exactly what. Oh, the do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Right, right.
Well, that was really funny, actually, because everybody had been assigned to come up with something. In fact, I think in the end, I don't like that. That is embarrassing.
Really?
Yeah. But I did it. I said to Robert, okay, sing something out and I will play it.
Really?
And that's basically what we did, yeah.
Do you remember how you got the tone to sound like that? It's not your average Strat.
Well, we were going like for Dwayne Eddy, you know, as you can probably tell.
So did you use the Strat for that?
Yeah, I think I did have an old Gretchen at one point. No, I didn't use. No, it wasn't a Gretsch. Yeah, I think it was the Strat. Yeah.
How'd you get it to tone out like that?
Well, I think we might have tried the old Princeton. In fact, I think what we did, we used an old Vox treble boost, which made a lot of noise, but we didn't care. It had JBL speakers in too, I think. And just stuck it out in the corridor and got a very ambient sound, you know.
Were you using a whammy bar for the harmonics at the beginning of Little by Little to bend the harmonic up?
Yeah, that's the red Strat with a Schecter gear and a Carla Wang bar, yeah.
Yeah.
I sort of pulled out of its socket in some parts. They actually, for one number, the end of something stuck me out in the corridor with the boogie like flat out.
Oh, for the end of Easily Led?
Yeah, I almost died.
Did that solo and Easily Led go on? That's
probably did, yeah.
That's so great, and they faded it, and I was disappointed that it didn't.
Well, I know. There's quite a bit of, like a lot of people said to me, there's not enough guitar, you know. And I said, well, there you go. That's what was required, you know.
Does your black guitar have a whammy bar?
Well, it does, yeah, but it's a stock, obviously. It's got 3 springs. I took it down to 3.
Do you use it very much?
You touch that. It doesn't. It tends to. The E and the B tend to catch because of the clip, probably.
The string tree?
Yeah, they just come back sharp, you know.
Yeah.
There again, I used it on a lot of old tracks, and I used to move it. Not a great deal, like burning down one side, you know.
It seems that with the Kaler, though, you're using the whammy more to bend notes than you used to.
Yeah. Well, you start. I mean, the more you play it, the more I use one of those things, you know. I tend to just dip it with my fingers, you know, using. While you're playing, you can just touch it or whatever, and you get into it. I suppose I switch styles again. You know what I mean? It's probably more of a, for me, a hooligan role. Dare I say it? Because I mean, I ain't really that much of a hooligan. Well, delicate sort of person.
Yeah.
All around.
Now, between Pictures at 11 and Principle of the Moments, did you guys tour at all?
No, we didn't do anything until we got 2 albums.
It seems that your playing on Principles of the Moment was less layered. It sounded like you probably cut more stuff on the basic tracks.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Well, yeah. I mean, I tell you something. On this last one, I had to replace everything I did, which is fucking hell. That's ridiculous.
Why?
Well, because the place where we did it, which was Marcus Studios in London, had this wonderful live room, which obviously Richie Hayward got it, and it got a great drum sound. Everywhere else in there was stone dead, you know. And we just couldn't get anything. It was really weird for me, you know, having to replace everything.
You never what?
It's really weird for me having to replace everything. Even you know, if I put a track down with them, I know that it ain't up to what we wanted, my sound. So after 2 weeks of putting down basic tracks, I had to start all again there.
At another studio?
Well, I had that live room for a while, and we did get some great sounds, and then we moved somewhere else, and I didn't really get as good a sound.
If somebody wanted to hear the essential Robbie Blunt tracks, is there songs you tell them to go listen to?
I suppose it's got to be some of the, I mean, even like Fat Lip, you know.
Uh-huh.
You're familiar with that one, off the first album. Or, but I suppose it's like I've Never Been Gone, you know. That is like the arpeggio stuff and pretty guitar solo, you know, with a lot of heart in there.
Yeah.
I suppose that's me. Really?
You've been playing a long time now. I have an album from '69 you're on.
You have what?
You're playing sitar on a Gordon Jackson album?
Have you got that?
My buddy's got a copy, yeah.
It's funny, we were talking about Steve Winwood, you know, and I mean, I'll never forget that time. That's the first time I really did any recording, you know, proper, and working with guys like Steve Winwood.
What's your background?
He's my idol, I think.
Steve Winwood?
Yeah, he's the best musician I've ever played with.
Really?
Probably I'm ever likely ever to play with all meat.
Have you played with him lately?
He can play everything better than anybody.
Have you played with him in recent years?
Pardon?
Have you played with him lately?
You'll have to speak up, Jazz. I can't hear you.
Yeah. Have you played with him lately?
No, funnily enough. No, I'd like to. I think I'm gonna call him up and ask him if I can do something on his new album.
That's great.
We keep sort of. He meets, like he saw Robert in New York and sent his love, you know, and stuff like that. I haven't spoke to him for 10 years, something ridiculous, you know.
It sounds as if your styles would be very compatible.
I'd like to think so.
Are you
He has such a great feel for music, you know. He's the best.
Are you a schooled musician?
No.
No?
No, I'm not, no.
Could you give me a little bit of your background as far as like when you started playing and stuff?
Well, I suppose I remember this guy down the road, his brother was in the Merchant Navy and brought home a guitar, you know. But nobody knew how to tune it. So you just used to like play one string and try and pick out a tune, you know. And then I remember my mum and dad going away for a while, and I stopped with my uncle, who played piano, and he actually went and bought the guitar tutor, and we tuned the guitar, probably when I was about 14.
Where was this?
Where?
Yeah.
Well, in England, where I live, you know.
I mean London or?
No, I live in the Midlands. That's why I've known Robert for years, because we both live in the same area. And Jez Roden lived just round the corner too.
Did you grow up in any town?
Well, Kidderminster. I mean, there's
I'm sorry, what's the name?
People, you know, came out, and all of traffic, apart from Steve, who lived in Birmingham, lived about 15 miles away, 20 miles.
What was the name? Peter Minster?
Kidderminster.
Oh, I see.
And then close by was Worcester, where you get the county, the name of the county we live in, called Worcestershire.
Yeah.
Worcestershire, as you say over here.
Yeah.
So there's a lot happening, you know. I mean, a lot of great players, you know.
60s?
Yeah, it would be 64, 65.
Was that when Hank Marvin was big?
Yes, that's it.
Was he a hero?
I met Hank Marvin in Australia, you know, last year. It was incredible because, I mean, I did say to him, if it hadn't been for you, I wouldn't be playing. And Robert said his mother hadn't forgiven you yet, you know. And it was great, you know what I mean? That was it for me, and for so many kids.
Hank Marvin?
Shadows, yeah.
Unbelievable. Is that what inspired you to play?
Yeah. I just wanted to do that, you know. Everybody I knew wanted to do that. You ended up, somebody said, well, you'll have to play drums, I'm sorry, you know. You can't all be lead guitar players.
So you started at 14. How long was it before you had your first band?
Oh, I don't know. I used to play down in local youth club. I mean, it was an amalgamation of also I was in love with this girl, and I thought maybe if I played guitar, maybe I could win her heart, you know.
Did it work?
Yeah. It certainly did.
It what?
Yeah, it certainly did.
Great.
So there's a couple of things there, yeah. But it was basically Hank Marvin.
What were the styles of music you played as you were coming up?
Well, I mean, we had, we had like mods and rockers in England, all this thing. Well, that played a big part, actually.
Which side did you lean towards?
Well, I became a mod because it seemed more intellectual to me.
Huh.
Especially from the music side. You had all this music coming through.
Were the Who mod?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we started listening to a lot of old people and ladies blues things on, and at first I used to go, and then it totally consumed me,
What's with the blues?
Yeah, like John Lee Hooker and all that stuff, all these blues albums. And then the whole mod thing went into Tamla Motown,
Yeah.
Which wasn't much in it for me as a guitar player, if you know what I mean.
Right.
But I love all that stuff. God, I'd still go out now, 35 years old, and dance to that stuff all night. Just like I used to,
The blues?
Tamla Motown.
Oh, Tamla Motown, yeah.
All that stuff, the Four Tops, and that's fucking incredible.
I had the advantage of growing up in Detroit.
Yeah, did you?
Where that all came from.
Yes.
That was a blast.
God, what some music. Hollandosia Holland, I love you.
Now, were you in any bands in England before Bronco?
Yeah, I'm embarrassed to tell you the names.
That's okay.
Really old names like Butch Clutch The Accelerators. Spelled like XLEX band. Yeah, really silly. Yeah, we just used to go and play. I mean, I was just a kid. We used to just go and play on a Saturday night or whatever.
Is this in the Midlands?
Yeah.
Did any of the guys you played with back then go on to make a name for themselves in the music world?
I don't think. Oh, the one guy, yeah, Butch.
Butch Clutch?
Butch is an entertainer in his own right now back home. But he's a comedian. He does like a comic show and then sings a few songs. He travels all around, and he's not internationally known. But he makes a good living. It's great, when we bump into each other.
Now, have you been a professional guitarist full-time since those days?
Well, yeah, I think so. I never wanted it to go to work, I went to college till I did art. But what I used to do, to get some money, I used to go painting and decorating, like a decorator at the weekends. And then I gradually stopped going to college and did more decorating because I wanted money, to buy stuff.
What music was it, huh?
Oh, yeah, I didn't want to do anything else. Even though I liked art, I used to, you'd be trying to study, and I just had licks going through my brain all the time.
Did you ever go...
Especially off the first John Mayall, Eric Clapton album.
Oh, the blues...
That was a monster, for everybody, I think. That's the best I think I've ever heard him play or will.
Did you spend much time in London during those days?
I used to sneak down to London. I mean, even when I was about that Gordon Jackson thing you're talking about, I didn't know anybody knew about that. I used to stop. I was probably 18, 19 years old. I used to stop at Jim Capaldi's flat, the Cromwell Road in London. But I tell you, when I was 15 or about 16, I snuck down to London to see John Mayall's Blues Breakers at the Pink Flamingo Club in Wardour Street, supporting Georgie Fame and the Blue Flames. And that was amazing. I mean, all I'd got was this single called Witch Doctor, and on the flip side, Telephone Blues, which is bass, great playing. That's all we got, you know.
Uh-huh.
I just got to see this, you know.
What'd you think seeing them live?
It's fabulous, incredible. Although we nearly got murdered by a load of black geezers, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, heavy duty. But...
Did that inspire you to get your vibrato together?
Pardon?
Did that inspire you to work on your vibrato?
Absolutely. He's got the best vibrato apart from BB.
Uh-huh.
Freddie. But that's where he came from too, you know. Yeah, the vibrato thing is really important to me, you know. I think that's what distinguishes a lot of people.
So,
Almost like your identity in a way.
Yeah. So, you were playing sitar in the late 60s too, huh?
Speak up, please, Jan.
You played sitar?
Well, it's like sitar guitar. Not, I mean, I did used to sort of pretend to have a go on the sitar. But that is actually a sitar guitar, was it made by Bell or something?
Oh,
it just
yeah.
had a metal plate at the back. It just the strings vibrated on it. You know?
Yeah, that's called the choral electric
That
sitar.
was it, yeah. It belonged to Steve Winwood anyway. He had that one, yeah.
Was your next recording sessions with Bronco?
Pardon?
Were your next albums with Bronco?
Yeah.
You sang on those, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
What kind of music was that? I never heard those albums.
It was, I suppose we were like influenced by Buffalo Springfield, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, which were great stuff, Buffalo Springfield. Jeez.
There was a band that was ahead of its time.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to listen to a lot of stuff like Country Joe and the Fish, you know.
Uh-huh.
When we started the sort of transgression from the mod thing into the, you know, when the Flower Power thing came about. And everybody thought you were nuts. Yeah, we used to listen to Country Joe and the Fish, Velvet Underground. In fact, we used to do I'm Waiting for My Man, you know, stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah, off the Velvet Underground.
What kind of a band was Silverhead?
I suppose that was ahead of its time, I'm telling you. It was almost like a punk sort of thing.
Weren't they kind of glittery?
Yeah, a little glam.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. But pretty nasty with it, you know?
Was that like early heavy metal stuff in there too?
Well, it was weighty, yeah. It had carried some weight. In fact, I just heard, I don't know whether this is true or not, that Michael DeBar got the job with Power Station.
Really?
Yeah. I just heard. I hope that's true, and I'm really pleased for him. I was just with Nigel, actually, the bass player in LA, who was with Blondie, in fact, for quite a time. Nigel Harris.
That's great. I hope he gets it.
Yeah, I think Michael is, in fact, because I don't know what's his face wanted to do the gigs, you know, Robert Palmer. Anyway, you better check
I won't put that in.
Anyway, by the time this comes out, we'll know.
Yeah.
Alright.
It'll be front page news. From Silverhead, you went into Broken Glass?
Yeah.
I
met up with Stan Webb. There's another crazy man.
From Chicken Shack?
My town, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they actually live a couple of miles away from me. And Andy Sylvester is still a big friend of mine. He's a great player. Who was the bass player, but who now plays guitar in this band. Yeah, I often think of probably wasting quite a few years of my life going to Germany and playing blues stuff.
You did that?
I got to be a really good slide player, you know.
That's what I've heard.
That was my role. I know I haven't played slide now for about a year and a half. Isn't it strange?
Yeah, it'll come back, I'm sure.
Well, in fact, funny enough, we were talking last night. I never even brought my slide guitars with me, you know. I got a couple of old melody makers with humbuckers, but I'm going to have them shipped out. Right after I finish this call to you, I'm going to phone out and have them shipped out here. And we're going to do some slide stuff.
Now you did.
So I'm going to have to get my licks together again.
You played slide on Worse Than Detroit, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you tend to play in an open tuning?
Oh, yeah.
What's your favorites?
Well, I mean, I saw I was lucky enough to see Dwayne Allman once.
Really?
First time I came to the States.
Uh-huh.
And this was with Bronco. They were on at the Whiskey in LA. And we'd been supporting Freddie King there too, which was great. You know, a lot of people just doing like club stuff.
Who were you with?
And I saw Dwayne Allman,
Uh-huh.
the Allman Brothers, and it just blew me apart. I'd never seen anybody play slide, you know, like, well, period. And so I went home. By the time I got home, he was dead. And I just got all the records I could, and I figured out he's playing an E, open tuning. It's some of the stuff, maybe. And I learned every lick I could of his.
It's funny you mentioned him. I'm in the process of writing a biography of Dwayne.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I wish I could have, you know.
Yeah, me too. Did you play slide in Silverhead?
Yeah.
Broken Glass?
Yeah.
Chicken Shack?
Well, Chicken Shack. I mean, he did have things. You see, like Chicken Shack to me was the original Chicken Shack, which was like Christine McVie,
Right.
whatever, and Andy Sylvester. But he continued to keep the name Chicken Shack stand.
So
I never really thought of it as Chicken Shack, but I did. Yeah, I played a lot of slide on a lot of stuff.
did you play on the albums The Creeper and That's the Way We Are?
God, how'd you know all this?
I do my
I
research.
knew about that.
Pardon me?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Huh. Were there any other records in those days that I haven't heard about?
I don't think so. You seem to have got everything. Oh, I played on a Steve Gibbons album.
When was this?
That was just before I started with Robert.
Okay, what happened between your 78 Chicken Shack tour and when you first got together with Robert? What were you doing in that period?
Well, the Chicken Shack thing, sort of, it just got to that point where, you know, it fell apart, literally.
Was Webb still with him?
Yeah, he was still there, but he wasn't living by me anymore. He'd fallen in love with somebody else and got divorced and all this, and was living in London. I still used to come back to Kidderminster. And I came home and I was just probably at the lowest point.
This is 78?
My life, yes, somewhere around that period, yeah.
Yeah?
And I thought, well, I just play with anybody, so at that time to get out of, I mean, I didn't have any money, I didn't have nothing. I just used to play all day, you know.
Uh-huh.
I played for 7 or 8 hours a day, and I just put myself about. I'm just playing bars, and gradually I got a gig with a band that was, you know, not doing pretty well, at least travelled the country, called Little Acre.
What's that?
Little Acre, they were called. You know, and that was an up for me, although I still didn't make any money, but at least I had an output, you know, there was a purpose to my life. And soon after that, Steve Gibbons asked me if I'd like to do a couple of shows with him. And in fact, it was me and the other guitar player from Little Acre who did that. He was a great guitar player.
Is Gibbons a singer?
Pardon?
Is Gibbons a singer?
Yeah. And then when I did that, in fact, we went and did a big festival with him. He asked me to do an album, and then he asked me to join the band. And then after a year of that, he said he didn't want a band anymore. So there I was again, you know.
What was the name of the album?
Oh, the Steve Gibbons thing. I think it's called Street Parade.
So you were out of a job again?
Yeah.
This was about 80, 79?
I think. Or 80, 81. And then, well, anyway, just soon after that, I was at a real low point again. I thought, well, here I go. And then, like, Zeppelin finished. Well, it would be around the time that John died, God bless him.
Yeah.
Well, or, no, probably trying to think when that was. But it although he still lived close by, nobody knew what to say, you know? It's one of those situations.
Had you known Robert from way back when?
Since I was 15, he come and dragged me out of my house when I was about, 16 or something, and got me to go and play with him somewhere in a band called the Crawling King Snakes. Because the guitar player never used to turn up, you know?
So how long were you with that band?
Pardon?
You were with the Crawling King Snakes?
I played one gig, I think, with them, because the guitar player never turned up.
Was Robert from Kidderminster too?
Well, close by a place called Stourbridge. Yeah, but he used to go to Kidderminster College too. He was older than me. So,
How do you spell Kidderminster?
how do you spell it?
Yeah.
Kidderminster. Kind of lyrical, isn't it?
It is. And that's where the college is. You went there?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So after Bonham died and Robert came back, how did you guys end up together?
Well, I mean, we used to be big buddies anyway. And then we fell out once and didn't speak for a couple of years. But anyway, we always sort of, you know, I would like to think we had respect for each other. So, in fact, Andy Sylvester was going up to his place. This is the guy who used to be the bass player with Chicken Chat.
With who?
Just putting down a lot of old tracks, you know, just on a 4-track. A lot of Buddy Holly stuff. You know what I mean?
This is in 81 you're doing this?
I'm trying to think when it was. 81, 82. Where are we?
Yeah, we're 85 today.
Yeah, God. I mean, it's got to be, 81, 82.
Because your first album came out in 83.
There you are then, yeah.
Anyway, no, I'm sorry, 82.
Leading up to that, or maybe 82 it was when this was going on.
Yeah.
81, 82, say. And then I sort of drifted on up there.
To Robert's house?
Yeah. And got involved. And we thought, let's do a show. Let's get this thing together. And we did a show, in fact, in Stourbridge, Robert's hometown, as it was, although he lived just outside of Kidderminster. Just at a club, and we called it the Honeydrippers, or somebody called it the Honeydrippers. And we got up and did it. And it was, you know, I had a great time anyway. I think he did too. And then we decided to go and do a few gigs as the Honeydrippers and keep it really quiet. But everybody knew, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But we just did clubs, and we just went out there and did these clubs.
Did you know?
Bored with that, you know. It wasn't really cutting it that much.
Uh-huh.
So we sort of had a meeting, and I just said, well, give me the chance to write something with you. And there we went.
What was the first thing you wrote? I've never been gone?
No, in fact, it was, I used to go up to his place because he had a studio, and I'd just sit in the studio and just go direct, you know, with a TR-808 drum machine. And I just went up there, I think the first day I probably went up there, and we did this thing, well, I put this thing down, which subsequently became Far Post. You heard that?
Which album is that?
It's not on the album, it was on the single, we put out a single, I think, called Fat Lib.
No, it's on
the B-side.
What's the name
of the singles we put out? It's called Far Post.
Far Post?
In fact, I think it's going to be in a movie actually soon. Anyway, that was the first thing. This thing just came, you know, out of the blue, and I just plonked that down, and he came in and said, "That's great."
Did you just?
No time at all. He'd come up with some lyrics, and then Jez started. We found Jez, dragged him in, and he and I used to sit in there, and we did things like Fat Lip. And then we went to this place in Monmouth, near Rockfield Studios, called the Old Mill House. And we got Cozy Powell down, and we came up with some, well, we had the stuff formulated, like I've Never Been Gone.
So most of
that stuff, well, the 2 tracks that Cozy played on that first album. And it was a really exciting period, you know. We worked real hard, and we were sort of at the thrill stage, I think.
So you'd go up to Robert's house and write songs with him?
Well, actually, I'd go up there and just sit on my own, actually, and come up with a guitar thing. And I'd say, there you are. And then I'd go away, and I'd come back, and he's written written a lyric and a melody to it.
Wow.
And it used to be really exciting, especially with Fat Lip, what he came up with. I think that's one of my favourite tunes, because it's like a real surprise. You knew what you'd done, and then he'd say, well, I've done this, he'd put a voice on. And it was great. Just keyboard, guitar, and a voice.
That must have seemed like the opportunity of a lifetime when the first album deal came together, huh?
Yeah, really. Well, it was like I'd been in the wilderness for years, trying to find my way out. That's what it felt like to me.
You seemed like you were a journeyman for a long time, kind of the way Andy Summers was.
Pardon?
You seemed like you were a journeyman for a long time,
Yeah.
kind of the way Andy Summers was.
Yeah, I know.
Are there a lot more guys like you in England?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah?
And I really feel for them,
Have you and Plant written any songs simultaneously? Where you come up with a progression and he'll have the words right away? Or will he come to you with melody and say, get a progression?
Never. The only time I think might have been In the Mood, which came together simultaneously. That's probably the only one. It's usually come up with and also through with the two-step.
Uh-huh.
In fact, that's the only one. I think he was that frustrated one day. He actually started singing something, and I actually sat there trying to, and we all were in fact trying to figure out what chords to put behind it.
So
Apart from that, it's a weird way of doing it, but you come up with a guitar thing or whatever.
So
We'll construct something over it.
So
And then after, you beat it into shape anyway. You bend it about a bit, put something else there. But a basic idea, that is usually the way, the norm.
do you write any words?
Me, I do write words, but I never get used to them. I haven't seriously written any lyrics since the Bronco days. I do have some lyrics stashed away then. Maybe I can give them to Steve Winwood.
How much of a free hand do you have in the studio? Does Robert tell you?
As to what I'm going to play?
Yeah.
Well, pretty much what I want, he will try and push me this way or whatever.
Does Robert know what he wants and tell you what to do, or do you?
I don't think he does.
Pardon me?
I don't think any of us do. Sometimes I'll spend a couple of days figuring something out. And initially, because he's thinking along something else, he won't like it. But then, because I've put a lot of time into this, it's like if I put a lot of time into something, I figure at the end of it, it's got to fit the tune. Else, it's not, I'm just gone and plonked in, and usually, he comes round,
Yeah.
and he says, yeah.
What's...
For one instance, I'll tell you something on this track, Far Post, which I don't think you've heard.
Mm-hmm.
I put these harmony guitars on there.
Yeah.
At the time, he said, no, you can't do that. That's crap. That's old hat. So I said, okay, scrub them. Now, I still had a monitor mix, right?
Mm-hmm.
With this track with the harmony guitars on. And when we started to tour, this is like two and a half years later, he said he's got a copy of Far Post. So I pulled out this, and I didn't realise the monitor mix with these harmony guitars on, which didn't appear on the record, but was still on this tape. And when I played it, he said, those harmony guitars are great on that. So that just say everything.
That sure does.
I said, yeah, really.
That's funny. Do you would you mind describing your recording process? Like what tracks you normally do first and how you put together?
Speak up, please, sir.
Would you describe your recording process? Like what tracks you lay down and how you do solos?
Well, I mean, it depends. If I've got a good room with plenty of separation, you know, I mean, it depends on what track. I might go DI as well as having the ambient sound.
Mm-hmm.
I might use up to 7 mics in the corridor with the boogie at either end. I may open some glass sliding doors from a very dead sound into a live room, have a PZM stuck on the wall, have a series of mics going from the amp being in a dead situation right out to being hooligan, you know? And maybe even we sit around and juggle, or Benji does, or whatever. Benji's usually with me through all this, my inspiration and guiding man, you know.
Is he your technician as well?
Yeah.
How would you describe your approach to soloing?
Soloing?
Yeah.
Well,
What do you think? What do you think a Robbie Blunt solo should do?
Pardon?
What do you think a Blunt solo should do?
Feel as if it's a part of the track, for starters.
Uh-huh.
Not just something stuck on like a postage stamp, you know. I mean, sometimes I could probably play better if it was all live, you know, being wound up and just. But for certain things, it's almost like I'm penciling in something, you know, and then
Penciling in?
yeah, to start with, and then I put the ink on, you know. Or, I mean, I really do think about a lot of those solos and work them out even. But then other times, I just go in and go for it, you know.
Are there any of those on the records that you just went in and got it real fast?
I mean, there's part of, even if I'm dubbing, sometimes I'll go for it. I'll stand in the control room and really get wound up, you know, and everybody's winding me up too. You know? I remember on the first album, there was a whole load of people having a party, and I'm trying to do my thing in the middle of all that, but it did wind me up, you know.
Do you know what you're doing in terms of what scales you play?
Pardon?
Do you know what you're doing in terms of like what scales you're playing?
Scale?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I have done a little bit of looking at books. I mean, I learned diminished, you know, whatever. You know.
But you don't.
Know all your different modes. Yeah, I mean, I sat down and done them basically for exercises, you know.
Yeah.
My hand. But ultimately, it doesn't come from there. It seems to come from somewhere else.
Do you?
I do not know, but.
Do you ever hear a solo in your mind before you find it on?
That's the way I do it. I might sit down and I try and think, what is the definitive solo for this record? You know, what does this require? And I might sit down for when we were down at Rockville recording. I had this little room I used to call the cell.
The cell?
Horrible. It was almost like it was like a cell. But I mean, I'd sit in there for hours and hours, keep running, just trying to think what is, or start and reject so many ideas, you know. Might have worked solos out and eventually arrive at something that I think is appropriate, that fits.
Are you ever asked to pull something you think's appropriate and do something different?
Yes. Yes, a lot of the time. There's another track that you haven't heard, which we have stashed away, where I played slide, where Robert was really trying to get me to do something I couldn't figure out. But in fact, it wound me up that much in the end that what is on there. I mean, you say now, that's fabulous, you know.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Saying there's a track that you haven't heard,
Uh-huh.
which might be released sometime, where I play slide. And Robert was trying to push me in a totally different direction. You know, which, I mean, it started annoying me actually in the end, because I thought what I had was good, but in fact it's great, you know. And when he says something to you, like at the end, after a couple of months, you know, when it's sunk in, there's some real good slide on there. I hope it escapes one day. Although he's, you trying to get me to do something I don't think I could have done. I'd say, well, sing it then, and I'd count the bars, and like it's nowhere. But it's still a source of great inspiration to have him do those things.
Do you use a lot of effects devices in the studio?
Well, quite a few. I mean, that's usually, Benji usually we rig up a couple of AMSs, or we use what's there, or rig up some stupid stuff, but mainly we go for the live room sound, or a very close DI, or both, or anything, just open to offers, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't have an array of little devices, though?
Not me, no. Although Pat Moran, he used to have a little bag of tricks he'd bring out, like an electric mistress. I mean, we even tried all that stuff, We just try anything. I'm starting to accumulate, like a bag full of things, but I usually end up getting the best sounds, basically, with using an ambient situation and mic plays in.
Right. Do you record in open tunings?
Well, I have done, like Worse Than Detroit's obviously a slide number, and it's in A. It's an A tuning. But, for effect, I think I might have used open tunings. Just straight without slide. In fact, on the end of Trouble Your Money is a track on the new album. That's the last time I played slide, I think. There's some weird stuff on the end of there, which is, I think that's in A too.
When you play slide, what guitar do you normally use?
A Melody Maker.
An old one?
Yeah, with a humbucker on though. I mean, it's not really a Melody Maker with a humbucker on, but real heavy strings.
Is it like strings set up high?
Yeah, really high.
Do you play lap style or standing up?
No. Standing up.
And where do you wear your slide?
Same as Dwayne Allman. That's the only person I ever saw with a slide on.
On the ring finger?
My third, yeah.
Do you use a Coracine bottle?
Pardon?
Do you use a glass bottle?
Brass. No, I've had all kinds. But somebody, years ago, when we were playing the Whiskey Go-Go in LA with Silverhead, somebody gave me, like, I don't know, it was a part of an old socket wrench or something. Something like that. But it just fits my finger tight, and it's the right weight. I did have a big brass one, but I found it too heavy. I just found this one, which the man who looks after my guitar is Andy Moore, who's worked with a lot of people. He's terrified of losing, because I've had it for 10 years.
The wrench?
Well, yeah, it's not that thick, actually. It's just a piece of chrome.
How many strings can it cover at once?
Oh, a lot. Just about, you probably have, maybe just over an eighth an inch either side. It'll cover the lot,
Oh, great. Huh. What acoustic guitars do you use, like for Moonlight and Samosa and like I've Never Been Gone?
Yeah, well that was, God, what's the name of it? It's a Gibson. In fact, I was going to buy it, but the guy wanted too much money for it.
Oh.
I'm trying to think, what is it? Is it a Dove? Yeah, it's a Dove.
Oh, those are nice.
In fact, it's still there. The case looks incredible, It's got all those humidifiers and all that kind of shit. The case looks space age, like a sarcophagus or something.
It's got what?
Sarcophagus. They used to put mummies in.
Oh, sarcophagus.
Yeah, that's what the case is like. It's got all these dials and it looks almost like you could do your final rest in there,
In the tune Pledge Pin, were you flat picking or finger picking?
Finger pick. Yeah, I do quite a lot of finger pick. But I don't do it on stage, funny enough, because it would rip my nails out.
When you finger pick, which fingers do you like to use?
I use them all.
All 5?
Yes.
Do you use your nails as well?
Oh, yeah, I have got nails, yeah.
So is it like classical guitar where you hit the string with the flesh and the nail?
Well, yes, I suppose it is, yeah.
Do you play acoustic guitar at home?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Mm.
I entertain my little girl. She's 18 months old.
That's great.
I'm missing her like hell, you know.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, she's into it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
She likes to mess with the strings too, you know.
Uh-huh.
Tends to just grab them and pull them.
Did you play slide in Slow Dancer?
No, there's no slide on Slow Dancer.
Huh. That was a great tone, that aggressive tone.
That was crazy. I mean, I must give Robert the credit for that. I just went out there and started playing. And he was in the control room going, yeah, just get something stupid. In fact, when we first cut that track, Cozy Powell, we did one take, the first take, which was a goof in which we couldn't use, which was absolutely phenomenal. We all came in the control room and were pinned to the wall, you know. It was such a huge, silly sound.
How did it get so big in the spectrum of the song?
What, guitar-wise or everything-wise?
Guitar-wise. Your tone?
I don't know what he did. He just doubled it up, ADT. Did. I don't know what he did. I came in, I said, that sounds fucking great.
Yeah.
And I must admit, Robert was in there and working on my behalf. I was just out there and kept playing, you know. And I came in and it sounded like that. I don't know what they did.
Do you remember the very ending of Worse Than Detroit? Is that backwards guitar?
Oh, yeah.
Is that backwards?
We actually used a Pubison.
Oh, yeah?
You heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I actually played that backwards.
Did you write it out, or?
Joking, aren't you?
Yeah, I guess so.
Jesus Christ. I mean, you play the note and it happens like, obviously, when you've finished, it starts playing it backwards.
Right.
Plugged in the Pubison.
That's pretty weird.
Stuck with it, and it got really weird, you know.
How did you get the sort of almost out of tune sounding parts at the end of Fat Lip?
Ah, that's a strange chord. Lots of finger stretching. The arpeggio.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
That's a really weird chord. I couldn't tell you what it is.
but you're
Off the top
bending.
of my head, I don't have a guitar here.
Are you stretching the strings as you do it?
I'm just pushing the bar
Oh, I see.
with my little finger while I'm picking with the others.
Oh, okay. That sounds great. Yeah.
So I'm picking with every finger apart from my little one, and that's resting on the bar. It just keeps dipping in a little while, you know?
That's groovy effect. Is that on the black strat?
Yes.
Did you have, do you know how many tracks you had in Mystery Title?
A lot.
A lot, yeah.
That's my first layering process, I suppose,
Uh-huh.
where I layered all the that was good fun, though.
I
Because it was
bet.
hard to keep tight, you know?
Was your recording strategy different for Principle of the Moments? I'll explain what I mean. The reason I asked if you had a tour between the two albums, I thought maybe if you did the first album and went on tour, you'd want to come back and cut something where there's less layering and it'd be easier to duplicate on stage.
Yeah.
But
In fact, that never enters our mind, the duplication. We worry about that later. You know, like with sixes and sevens, we're worrying right now because the record, it's getting so much airplay. I mean, I even bought a DX9, you know, so as I could MIDI in to duplicate it, which before we came, we said, no way will we be playing sixes and sevens, so I never even bought it. And now somebody's had to go and get me a DX9, and we've got to figure out a way to duplicate that.
what will the DX9 allow you to do?
Or just MIDI up to the rolling guitar synth. That's the sound of the solo on sixes and sevens. It's somewhere in program 4 on the DX9. That sound coupled with 6/6 on the synth, and we use a little bit of tweaking the program. Now I don't know whether we can do it because it's very difficult, you know.
Do you try to duplicate things on stage close to the way they are in record?
Yeah.
Are there?
In fact, well, I mean, I can play them sound-wise. Benji will duplicate them, you know. He's got all his tricks out there.
What do you do for a tune that has a guitar groove and then you solo over it, like something like Worse Than Detroit. How would you do that on stage?
Well, we did have another guitar player,
Who?
last time we were out, called Bob Mayo.
Mayo?
Yeah, he works with Foreigner. We sort of parted company.
Was that the 84 tour? I'm sorry.
Pardon?
Was that an 84 tour?
Yeah. Well, when was it? It's been 2 years ago, isn't it?
Oh, 83?
Something like that. Yeah, it was 83. With Phil Collins. Yeah.
Was that your first tour of the U.S.?
With Robert, yeah.
Who did you...
I toured here lots of times before with Silverhead, and once with Bronco. Well, doing a couple of clubs, in L.A. and around. Going down to Orange County and getting busted over the head by cops and stuff.
Yeah. What a place.
So this is a little different.
Yeah. Are there any spots in the show where you stretch out?
Oh, yeah. That's why I like it.
Do you do a solo?
Pardon?
Do you do like a solo by yourself?
No.
Uh-huh.
I get enough chances to stretch out. God, I mean, the world's my oyster,
So you don't play slide in concert now, huh?
Nope.
Somebody said you were doing
I
some...
told you, I'm right after I've spoken to you, I'm going to phone home and get my guitars shipped out, the slides, because we're going to do, it's quite a long tour. I'll know better next time. We're sort of getting bored with their own material.
Yeah.
Because we've got a lot of material to choose from. So we'll probably put in worse than Detroit.
Somebody said...
Another thing, I can't remember the title, which I played slide on, a weird thing.
Someone said you were playing rockabilly?
Rockabilly?
Yeah.
Yeah?
In the Robert Plant show?
Well, rockabilly, yeah.
What?
Honeydrippers stuff, I suppose. Well, it's just like old swing stuff. Not really rockabilly.
What guitar do you use for that stuff?
Which one would you think?
The Guild?
Huh?
The Guild.
Black Strat.
Ah.
In fact, I did while I was in Dallas. I went down to Charlie's and I checked out a 335 and an old Gretsch, which was beautiful. But I don't know, what I want is an old lime green Gretsch.
Oh, those are beautiful.
I can't seem to find one. Or they say they're rarer than rocking horse shit,
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want.
I'm sure they're around now.
Yeah, well, that's what I want, a lime green Gretsch.
Any particular...
I ain't going to settle for nothing less.
Which model?
I'm not bothered. I mean, I think I had an orange Country Gentleman, was it, he would have brought out.
Uh-huh.
Which was strung up real heavy and sounded good, Just fed back. Really thick sound.
When you're on stage, do you just have the two strats?
Yeah, I got that's all I brought this time.
Uh-huh.
I had 8 guitars last time. Like, just for Moonlight and Samosa, which we don't do. I got a Gibson Chet Atkins.
Oh, yeah, those are nice.
But I have it strung. It's steel on silk strings I use, GHS, which they wouldn't guarantee it, actually. The company saying it probably got too much stress. But it sounds beautiful. But after you put a 20 dB pad on, damp it down, the sound. So powerful, that guitar.
Do you play a Roland on stage?
What, the guitar synth?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I use it on 2 numbers, little by little. I mean, that's taken us a while to figure out how to make it work.
What tunes is it on?
Pardon?
What tunes do you use it for?
Little by little. And a weird thing. God, I can't. Too loud.
Too loud?
A lot of people wouldn't even think there's any guitar synth on there, but there is. And then, if we can get it together, 6s and 7s, which I'll be midded into the DX9, which is another big problem, because it tends to trigger itself, you've only got to touch it, it goes to make you look a real arsehole, quite easily.
People say that they do real strange things on stage when the lights go on.
Pardon, I can't hear you.
I've heard that with the heat from the lights can trigger strange things too.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me about it.
Yeah. I want to go back to Principle of the Moments for a moment. And what did you contribute to the writing of In the Mood?
Well, I tell you what percentage I got. No, in fact, I won't tell you that. Well, I suppose.
Is that your chord progression?
Yeah, and especially the solo part. I mean, I do it down, 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 down. I mean, all that. The solo came later.
Uh-huh.
But actually, yeah, that was all mine, the middle part. And then I really worked out. I wanted it to sound almost Beatles, you know.
Yeah.
Down, 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 down. You know what I mean?
A little like Day Tripper.
Yeah, Beatles.
Yeah. I noticed there's a little bit of the Yardbirds type Eastern lines in Reckless Love.
That's the track I was trying to think of. That's why I'm shipping the slide guitars out.
Oh, so there is slide on that, huh?
Oh, that is done on an A minor tuning. Funny enough.
Really?
All that there's some really weird counts you have to remember, but yeah, that is done in A minor slide tuning.
When you're playing the higher lines in songs like Through with the two-step and the Big Log, do you choke your pick to get the harmonics?
No. I tell you what I do. I use a Herco pick, heavy. I use a rough edge. I mean, yeah, sometimes, but not more often than not, you know.
You play
situation.
You play with the rounded shoulder of the pick rather than the point?
I switch them round, yeah.
Yeah.
To give it more attack.
Do you ever hold a flat pick with your thumb and index finger and then pick with your other fingers?
Oh yeah, lots of times. That's what I use. I use that a lot.
Could you mention a song where you do that?
God, can I?
The Big Log, maybe?
In fact, I think I did Big Log, you know, with just my fingers. I think. I can't remember. Yeah, I mean, I think I used both on that. I just stick the pick in my mouth, and when it comes to the do, I use a pick, and then I'd stow it and just use my fingers.
Did you
You get that ringing effect, you know?
Now, you wrote all the music for Big Log?
Everything but the middle eight.
When did you come up with all that? That's a great track.
That's the last. In fact, Jez and I, we were desperate as a group, as an entity, for another track for the album.
Really?
Yeah, and Robert was away, and we were at this place. There's a guy called Roy Harper.
Oh, sure.
We were at his house. We rented his cottage, quite a big house, an old country farmhouse, off him to do a lot of his rehearsing in Hereford. And I was to meet Jez there, and I arrived, and you know, I'd had on a tape, I got all these old tapes, just cassettes. I just got a guitar going do, or something similar to that. Yeah, and it was from years ago. Something I just put down ideas, you know, and I just started playing this, and it just came together. Just me and him there.
You and Jez?
All turned up. We got a big log fire going, you know, and it just came together. And then Jez came up with the middle eight.
Do you and Jez do a lot of jamming?
Not really. We don't seem to get the time, you know. We'll play some old blues stuff, you know. Swing stuff, just guitar, piano. Or jazzy type stuff.
Yeah.
Exercise, you know.
So how long is this tour you're on now going to go for?
Well, I'll probably be home by the time this comes out, won't it? Well, it was planned till the middle of August. But I think what we're going to do is finish on July the 30th. Go home, come back and do about another 20-odd dates.
This has really been
about 30 shows this time. There would have been about 35. It was about 29 or 30 shows.
How big of a crowd are you drawing?
Well, I mean, what does the Dallas reunion hold, you know? I mean, that's it. That was a great show. I mean, there's a couple. I know Robert's a bit disappointed because if we did 2 nights at the Cow Palace. The second night wasn't sold out. People saying we may be a little bit early, you know.
What are the band's feelings on doing Led Zeppelin material? I'm sure.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I will never do a Led Zeppelin song. That was the deal, you know.
Why do you feel that way?
Well, because Led Zeppelin happened to include a man called John Bonham, who's not here anymore. And that was the deal between Robert and myself anyway. Not that I made it, you know, but it was just never can that, you know, it's not Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, I mean, I've said to him, go and get another drummer and form Led Zeppelin. Do it, if you can, and if you want. But it's nothing to do with me.
Yeah, that's good. Did you know Page?
Pardon?
Did you know Jimmy Page?
I do know him, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I personally, I like the direction Robert's going in now.
Well, so do I.
You've come a long way since you were sitting around at home 5 years ago wondering what you were going to do next.
Well, yeah, I needed to, though. You know, I was a desperate man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you happy with the way things are?
Oh, for sure, as long as my output's good, I'm okay. If my output's not good, I get a bit, well, I do something about it, you know.
Do you do a lot of writing these days? Coming up with progressions and
Well,
stuff?
I got some, I'm starting, the last album, I must admit, I didn't do, I think my output was depleted, or my stock was depleted, you know. But right now, I'm starting to get a lot of ideas again, which is great.
Is there anything that inspires you?
I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's playing on stage again, is it? I don't know.
Can you?
Being in love or something.
Do you know of any unsung guitar players that you think are deserving of more recognition? Or
Do I think?
yeah, are there guys like you know about the average person may not have heard of, but are worth checking out?
I don't know, really. I mean, I don't know. It's like I couldn't tell you anybody I know that's really flash, but there are guitar players that I like. I like Jimmy Vaughan.
From the Thunderbirds?
Yeah. And Andy Sylvester, the guy from Chickset, plays a lot like Jimmy Vaughan. Just real solid and down the line, you know. And it's great.
If you could go back...
Almost a certain amount of restraint, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To make it happen.
If you could go back in time and jam with any musicians, is there anybody you'd like to be with?
Dwayne Allman.
Dwayne Allman? He was quite a guy.
Apparently so, yeah.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else you want to cover, Robbie?
No, that's just about it. If that's okay with you.
No, this is great. Thanks so much.
Since his celebrated stint with Robert Plant, Robbie has stayed active, playing live and doing recording sessions for Julian Lennon, Clannad, and other musicians. Before signing off, I'd like to thank my podcast producer, Nick Hunt, and the fine folks at the UNC Southern Folklife Collection. This podcast is copyright 2025 by Jazz Obrecht. All rights reserved. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time.